So Joanne's crushes are certainly.
I say certainly and curious.
Yeah, and I hate Bill, apparently.
Bill says, let me say something. Let me say.
That is so bad. Just say it. I didn't even know I did that until you said that.
Do you have an entire Uyghur prison camp of people who are just making graphics for you? Because my God,
amazing, right?
It's one man.
Yeah, it's one man. But is he a man? I think he's more than 5 man. He's actually doing graphics for the fucking Entrepreneur Piece. Insane.
Yeah. Are you saying that the verbal crutch here is full stop?
Yes, thank you.
Full
stop is the one I hate.
As I do, I like to put in our graphics, our different segments. I just put in words into Google to find my news stories that fit our segments. Do you see how that works? I typed in apology, and thank God Chrissy Teigen apologized for being a Twitter troll, saying, I was a troll, full stop.
And
I am so sorry. So she took about a month-long social media silence after there was a little back and forth between her and Courtney Stodden. Courtney recently accusing Teigen of harassing and bullying them on Twitter around 10 years ago. As a result, so Teigen was just launching this line of cookware. And as a result, I think it was Macy's, Target, these places that were carrying it are no longer. So that's a bummer.
Which is a really big deal.
I mean,
in terms of if you've got Macy's and Target, I don't know about Macy's. But
so these tweets are pretty bad. Also, apparently, Courtney says there were messages that they were sent, direct messages saying, kill yourself, whatever. At the time, remember, Stodden married 50-year-old actor Doug Hutchinson when they were a teenager back in 2011.
Wait, but I'm confused. What was the beef between them to begin with? Why did she hate her so much?
That's a great question. So basically, Teigen says, there's no excuse for my horrible past tweets. My targets didn't deserve them. No one does. Saying she first started using social media to snark at some celebrities. If there was a pop culture pile-on, I took to Twitter to try to gain attention and show off what I at the time believed was a crude, clever, harmless quip. I thought it made me cool and relatable if I poked fun at celebrities. In reality, I was insecure, immature, and in a world where I thought I needed to impress strangers to be accepted. Wasn't she already famous, though?
It was 2012 that I was looking at the date. I don't know.
Was she big then?
I mean, she only had 3 likes on that tweet.
She wasn't. Luby says she was
Luby
not.
is adamant on this.
Yeah, she only had 3 likes on that tweet.
Interesting. So she has apologized. We'll see if now this improves her business connections or what. I'm always assuming with a PR person, you're doing this because money is at stake.
I still don't know why she hated her so much.
Well, I mean, see how her mouth looks. So I mean,
let's just first, if I may, because this leads into Alison Roman, right?
Please, yes.
So Chrissy Teigen, I guess it was the summer of 2019. Gets very upset with something that Alison Roman, who was the food writer and videographer for the New York Times, who's pretty adorable, and I love her stuff. I didn't know much about her before all this happened. I guess Roman had said something about, I don't really remember, about Teigen and who was the other one she said something about getting a lot of attention. Some people took this as an anti-Asian thing, which I don't think it really was.
Oh, good.
And people went bananas.
Marie Kondo, actually.
Marie Kondo.
Oh.
And I think Roman was saying something about over celebrity. I don't really know. I don't remember the tweet. But she was destroyed. And she basically left the Times. And everything. So
She was
Teigen
forced out of the job for being an anti-Asian based on a fairly innocuous tweet. And Chrissy Teigen's the one who drummed it.
Let's just talk about Teigen for a second. Teigen, a million years ago, does what a lot of people do. They go on social media, and in order to get attention, they do whatever they do. Okay, she does it, whatever. Nobody cares. I personally don't care, but okay. And then she has now all this status, and she goes on, I do remember when she thought she was being attacked by Alison Roman, it was like, I just feel so bad. She was someone I really looked up to, and now that she's said these things, so she's mew. And now she gets caught being mean, and she's like, oh, I was really bad about it. So as far as I'm concerned, Chrissy Teigen is bad every single time. If she wants to apologize and go back, I don't care if she comes back. That's fine. Her cookbooks are actually kind of good. But she did destroy Alison Roman's life.
For sport.
For sure.
For sport. And she was,
I did not know that.
And she was assisted in that by a guy named Yashar Ali.
Yes, I know him.
On Twitter, who's this guy who just talks about elephants all the time and cries. And he's allegedly...
So Whitney Cummings?
He's allegedly a contributor either to CNN or like the Daily, just like all the things. And you've always wondered, like, he's not doing journalism out there at all. Like, why is he hired as part of these things?
He was just around. He was just like...
He was just around everywhere.
Yes.
There's an amazing, really, really well done Los Angeles Magazine story about him from about 10 days ago that talks about his role and how he insinuated himself into people's lives.
I did not know his backstory. It was really good.
It's great.
I
It's a
saw it.
classic LA story. Nancy and I both being from there, and we've seen and she's written about.
I've written about these people that are sort of like, they make themselves indispensable to important people, and then all of a sudden it's like, I didn't realize I have this parasite. It is now eaten basically into my kidney, and they're like trying to get the
like
parasite.
literally living in the mansions of people who don't want him
Kathy
there.
Griffin.
Yeah.
Like, she had to get people to have, like, he just moved into Kathy Griffin's mansion or something.
But he was at first indispensable, and it was so nice to do these things, but then they don't leave, right? He really reminded me of a woman I've written about, Laura Albert, which is too long a story to go into, but these people that are just like super, super charming until they literally like, their face rips off and they are just this like,
But
they're
even
just gonna destroy your life.
Even if you take him as a valuable member of the community, there's tons of it. Jake Tapper was in there saying, "Oh yeah, sure, I don't know where he's from, but he's always been great." Yashar Ali played a huge role in this Alison Roman thing because he amplified the stupid Chrissy Teigen thing because he's pals with Chrissy Teigen because he insinuated himself into her life, and then he went and he found like a costume. I think was it Alison Roman?
Alison Roman
dressed up as Amy Winehouse from 10 years ago, and that was supposed to be anti-Latina.
Well, what he said was they said, look at her, she's dressed as a Chicana, and then Alison Roman's like, no, I was dressing as Amy Winehouse, but
and this became within the culture of the New York Times, the modern New York Times, which is just sounds like an awful cesspit. And I've been published there. I have friends who work there, but my God, within that culture, people seized upon that as a way to bounce out white chick food writer. And that's what happened. So Chrissy Teigen is doing an apology tour. Oh, it feels so bad. I was young, whatever. No, you weren't young when you did this. And Yashar Ali did this very recently. This is bad. And also she's saying, oh, I was just trying to join an internet pylon to impress my friends. You're a bad person.
Yeah. It is.
That's a pylon. That's not a thing. Pylons are bad things.
I would like to see moving forward, if there's another celebrity or a person on Twitter who's about to be canceled because of tweets they did 10 years ago, is she going to be sympathetic to them now, or is she going to join the mob trying to cancel them? Because I think it can go one of two ways then. Either she needs to be overly righteous now, it was wrong what I did, it's wrong what they did, or it's the show them some grace camp. I would hope that she would be like, let's show everyone some grace now.
Absolutely. The problem unfortunately, with showing grace, and even when it's completely sincere, it's a friend of yours, is then you get redestroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. This is why people just sit on a fence. They may want to jump out and protect you, but they're so afraid, and with cause.
And also, for the people who are the most strenuous about trying to join a pylon and get someone knocked off their perch, they want you to apologize, and they're not going to accept it.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's a power play. Right. So I think for the rest of us who try to act like human beings, adult civilized human beings, I can't believe I'm saying this while looking at Bill Schulz.
Don't give him that.
We should show grace. The world needs more grace. I want to encourage Chrissy Teigen to apologize. Also, though, she does seem like an awful human being, and I have no idea why I even know what her name is. It's like my 12-year-old coming down and saying, "Oh, this person had a beef with this person," and whatever, like TikTok crap. She seems like that in the culture to me, but maybe I'm.
Avery, you look like you have some feels on this.
On Chrissy Teigen?
Yes.
I just think it's drama.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing of it is didn't she leave Twitter for a while because everyone was piling on her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then she finally was like, "I'm back. I couldn't stay away." And then this happens, and then she goes away again.
I think it's important to note it was our own Chrissy Mayer.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was
drove her
Chrissy
over the
Mayer.
edge to
Yeah,
the
I was
original
gonna-
the first time.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah, Chrissy has made a cottage industry.
Yeah, because
doing this.
didn't Chrissy notice that Chrissy Teigen had deleted a ton of tweets?
Yep, exactly. She was cleaning up these kind of things. Chrissy pointed that out and jumped all over, and that really led to the ambush. Everybody kind of jumped
Wow.
in. It's almost like Chrissy beat Chrissy at Chrissy's game.
Too many Chrissys.
Never enough.
We have a limit. You've crossed it.
Find Everett.
Just
They all
like,
work.
and I've probably certainly cribbed this from you guys, but can we all just agree to stop apologizing? Unless it's something
Never.
really egregious. Stop fucking apologizing. I mean,
Who has-
you're only allowing
Who
yourself to
has
be
time to
canceled.
go back to 2012 to look at tweets?
But that's
Yeah.
the thing. Why aren't we then finding the one person who sorted through and found this thing? And why aren't we going, do you need help?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Giving them a job. Like I have a big, you can come over and like clean my kitchen. Which
Yeah.
More,
Yeah.
more useful.
No, it's the outrage archaeologists.
I don't understand.
Stuff, and
The thing to ask yourself or to ask in this situation, every time someone does something like this, if they want you to apologize for something you didn't do, they accuse you of doing something you know you didn't do, you just say to yourself, why are they doing this? What is their agenda?
Right.
Because there's always an agenda. And it's not just that they're just maybe it's a follower and they don't want to be canceled themselves or whatever, but like, you can call me anything you want, but it has nothing to do with me, really.
Right.
Also, I'm just too lazy. I don't know who has the energy for this much bile and hatred and investigation.
And people change and evolve.
And they
Yeah.
should, and you should let
Well, I mean,
them.
I hope people change and evolve. Not
You-
they don't always do, but I'm a way different person than I was in
Yep.
2012. Thank
Totally.
God. Thank God.
Yep.
quick shout out to go to reason.com for those interested
Oh,
in this
yes,
conversation.
yes, yes,
Robbie
yes.
Suave has a piece today that'll blow your ear balls back
Insane.
about a classical composer whose life has been
Destroyed.
upended, pretty much destroyed, because during the riots in Nashville, where he lives, a year ago, where they burned a courthouse not far from his apartment or his house. He wrote on Instagram something like, "Okay, just let it burn. You people are blind, even if you're well-intentioned. Damn it!" He was mad.
I'm out.
I'm
Yeah.
out. Because of that, he was called smeared as a racist.
Oh,
his,
no.
His publisher fired him in classical music. There's not a lot of them, or Christian classical music, I think it is.
But the pre-written apology.
And there was a pre-written apology from his publisher, like
said, sign this.
like long, florid.
Sign this.
I realized I need to do the work, as Michelle Obama once said, and all and he refused.
Yeah.
And so he, because he didn't apologize, he's also faced consequences of it, and it's a sickness. The whole thing is a sickness.
Remember back in the day when really the only thing that truly ruined a person's life was like an affair. You know?
Sex tape.
Or
Yeah.
like a sex tape or some sort of like petty crimes.
Embezzlement.
Like embezzlement.
Hugh Grant trolling Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
For,
Hey,
Look, he's
dudes.
fine. He's fine.
No, now it's those things, affairs,
Quaint.
going to jail for not paying your taxes. That is more easily forgiven than these stupid tweets or
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
That's right. Oh, no, they say, I was reading this the other day, it's like a life sentence. Because they were talking, actually, our friend Barry Weiss, who has a new podcast, she was talking to, I can't remember his name, Wadi, who had the food place in Minneapolis and got canceled because his daughter had made some terrible comments in 2012. She can't work. Like, she can't get a job. She got hired, and then they found out about this tweet from 2012, and they fired her. So basically, it's a life sentence. And they're like, Barry was like, have you considered rehiring her back? Because he was forced to fire her. And he's like, yes, I would rehire her back. But she said, I won't do it because it will continue to destroy your life. It's a mess. It's a mess that people need this so much. They think this gives their lives meaning, but it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
They wake up in the morning with nothing. They can't feel good. It's just bile.
Yeah, it's the
This
hole
is
they're
super
trying to fill
cheery.
is
This
bigger and
episode
bigger.
is super cheery.
Is there
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah.
Is there any like? Another verbal crutch is like, ooh, the pendulum. You know, they always talk about the pendulum swinging this way, then that way. But is it ever going to swing back? Are we too far gone? I don't like. Can we all just like collectively be like, okay, none of this shit matters. Let's all move on with our lives. Or I don't know.
I don't think it does matter to much of the world, even if it gets closer to them. And we already see the pendulum swinging in Portland and in Minneapolis. I mean, and also like we're having super fun over here in our lives. So are you.
Yeah.
It's like,
and there's an audience for people who don't give a shit about this stuff,
Yeah,
or like who don't get caught up in it. And if we pay attention to it, it's because we're laughing at you.
and we're just going to make more stuff. And like, I'm not I'm just like, look,
I like
if you
that.
want to live in that horrible cesspool over there, please. And when you're ready to come out, come here. I'll give you a shower and you can hang out.
This stuff's not going to be
Yeah.
popular. I mean,
No.
like, do we need to hear? Another like a WNYC this morning had a piece that was supposed to be that's the New York Public Radio had a piece that was supposed to be about how the difficulties between the Asian community and the Black community. Like, okay, that's interesting in New York with all the stuff going on.
Sure.
And they flipped it immediately and saying, well, so against the backdrop of our white supremacy in this culture, there's a lot of pressure, and it's pretty clear that it's the white supremacists' fault that Black people are. And it's like, besides all the logical problems, it's just like every single day on every single like NPR or whatever, you hear stuff like this in this viewpoint, and it's sour, it's inaccurate, and it immediately repels a huge chunk of the audience. So those audience is going to go somewhere, and it's going to go to the nice place where Nancy can make them shortbread.
That's
I
right.
love that your side hobby is hate listening NPR. And see how long you can get through it.
I can't do it. It's like holding your breath underwater, right?
It was this morning I woke up and my wife was like, that's it, you've gone too far.
Well, turn it off. No, but to use your word, curious. It's like this also betrays an incuriosity. When you get up there and you're just like, and our constant backdrop of white supremacy. It's like, are you interested in the world at all? Because you've just told me you're not.
Yeah.
Because this is not true.
And the weird thing is that almost at this point, something like that preface is a box to check. All right, I've said that. Now I can
That's
move
right.
on with my point. Like,
It's a verbal crutch.
Yeah, exactly.
Systemic racism is a verbal crutch.
And maybe it's like parking tickets in New York. They have to write a certain amount. The cops. It's like,
Yeah.
how many times a day did you say it? Okay.
And yeah, it's like sitting around in your bougie radio, whatever you're doing, and getting paid to talk about your privilege is such a privilege. It's so hypocritical
Yep.
too, to just be musing about white supremacy.
Where did you go to
know?
school? Yep.
There was a CEO of some big company, a woman, last week who did this. And damn, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name, but she had put at the bottom of her bio, which she or like annual letter, she put her pronouns and then said, I've just really need to reflect on my privilege, like or something like that, and we're going to be doing the work here, and just it's like, dude, you make $2 million a year doing some high-end luxury noodle crap.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, I catch myself sometimes doing that too. Like if ever I'm talking with, and I even hate this term, friends of mine of color, something like that. Like if I hear myself saying something particularly like maybe white, I'll be like, yeah, no white boy problems or something like that. And I don't even need to say it. And I think that they look less at me for even saying something like that.
Should.
But I have this knee-jerk thing. That's one of my verbal crutches, maybe. Like
your
I'll
own
do
apology
that.
tour.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that new?
And I think I've stopped doing it, but I don't do it as much anymore. But like, I would find myself doing that, and it almost you feel like you're supposed to. I don't know, but like, it's ugh. We're just pussies, me included.
Ugh.
But not for much longer. Why am I giving them so much publicity?
I have no
I'm probably
idea.
paying for this shit.
I have no idea.
Huh?
No idea why you're doing that. Because he plays for the White Sox.
Yeah. One of